drawings for all, multi-view drawings for all your puzzle pieces that look something like this. Note that this is a 3-piece puzzle cube, so this is not something you can actually use in any of your drawings or any of your cubes. So that's why I'm actually using this, is because you can't just copy what I'm doing. But you should have 5 separate multi-view drawings of your puzzle pieces, where this is the isometric view, front, top, and right side views. So when we go to Inventor, each puzzle piece will be considered a part. So you click on part, and it will start a new part for you. And every part, the way you start a part is you start with a 2D sketch. So you can either click over here to start 2D sketch, or you can start with a right click and say new sketch. I always personally start on the XY plane. So you click on the plane, and then our puzzle cubes, all of our pieces, all of our individual pieces are rectangles. And so what you can do is you can start with a rectangle. Actually, it's a square. So if you start, I always start my drawings also at the origin, 0, 0. And then I'm going to make it 0.75 inches by 0.75 inches, and zoom out and say enter. So there is a square that is 0.75 inches by 0.75 inches. I'm going to click on finish my sketch. And so that's only 2 dimensions. The way we stretch or extrude a 2-dimensional sketch into 3 dimensions, well, we do an extrude. So again, you do a right click, you click on extrude, and by default, it assumes you want to extrude 1 inch. Well, again, our cubes are 0.75 by 0.75 by 0.75, so you have to change that to 0.75 instead of 1 inch. Say okay, and now that is 1 puzzle piece cube. All right. Unfortunately, we can't just do a copy paste. So if that is a puzzle piece cube, so if I go back to my drawing, I can think of that as like this bottom base right here. So I got to go 1 more cube out and 1 more cube up. All right. So if I go back to my Inventor part, so I want to go 1 more cube out in this direction and 1 more cube up from this face. So if I hover over top of this, so this face is red, and I do a right click and I say new sketch, and then I can put in a rectangle command, and careful so that my mouse hovers over the corner so it turns into a green dot, and then bring it out and just say 0.75 tab 0.75 tab enter. So now I've taken up that whole face. Again, finish sketch, right, hover over top of it, right click, extrude, again 0.75. All right, now I want to extrude the other part going up. Say again, new sketch on that face. So from this corner, I'm going to go 0.75 in either direction. So I can do 0.75, click in that direction. Again, when you click on a corner, make sure it's green. So that's kind of like a snap. So 0.75 by 0.75, enter, finish the sketch, extrude, hover, extrude 0.75 inches. And there is my puzzle piece. All right. That is not actually the easiest way to make this part. I'll show you an even faster way to make this part. All right. So if I go back and I'll just start from scratch, a new part. All right. And so I'll make a new sketch, start from the XY plane. And if I think about it, if I go back to this drawing, my front face, my thickness, the whole piece is the exact same thickness of 0.75. So if I just draw out the front face and then extrude the entire front face 0.75, that would be the easiest. So the front face, it is 1.5 inches long, then 0.75 up, 0.75 over this direction, 0.75 up, 0.75 over, 1.5 back down. So let's see if I can just sketch out this face. All right. So if I go back to Inventor, I can click on the line command, and then I can just go over, hold my thing horizontal so it says 0 degrees, and say 1.5, enter. Then I go vertical, and make sure the angle there says 90 degrees. I go up 0.75, enter, go over 0.75, then I go up 0.75, to the left 0.75, and then I close this off. I hover over top of it until I see green, and I click on that, and then I say Finish Sketch. So there's my front face, and now if I do a right-click Extrude, and I extrude that 0.75, say OK, there, it's a much faster way to create the exact same part. These parts are the exact same, just the way I did it for the second one is much faster. All right, I will show you one more part. So, for example, this part here, this is a 4-piece puzzle cube, or 4-piece puzzle cube part. This is something you could possibly use. Again, the fastest way to do this, since it's the same thickness everywhere, you could sketch out the front face and then extrude it the exact same way. I will show you a slightly different way though. Imagine you're looking down on this thing from the top view, and you sketch out the total outline, which is 2.25 inches long by 0.75 inches wide. So I'm going to do a new part, new sketch, XY plane. I'm going to make a rectangle that is 2.25 inches long by 0.75 inches tall, and say Finish Sketch. According to my drawing, that is 0.75 inches tall, and so I will extrude that up 0.75 inches. And then what I need to do is I need to put that top part right there. This piece right here, this piece up here. All right, so when I go back to Inventor and I want to start a sketch, or start a new sketch on that face, so I can put in a rectangle. If I line it up on this edge somewhere, I don't have to actually have it placed exactly in the right place at the very beginning. And then I just put in 0.75 by 0.75 square on top of that face, hit enter, and then what I can do is I can put in a dimension from this edge, oops, from here to here. Sorry, I want to dimension this edge right here. I want to dimension from here to here, and I want that to be exactly 0.75, right? Because that length right here from this edge to the start of this cube is exactly 0.75. And so you see that I don't have it exact, so I can type in 0.75, and when I hit enter, it moves it up. It's hard to see because I didn't have it very far off, but it moved it up, say Finish Sketch, and then I hover over top of it, right click, extrude, and I only want to extrude that part, 0.75 up, and there's my puzzle piece. All right, so that's how we create basic puzzle pieces. I'm not showing you a ton of them because I want you to try to play with it, figure it out. The other way, a thing to notice is you can rotate in 3D. So if you hold down the shift and push down on the wheel, you can rotate around and kind of see this. If you ever get kind of lost, this up here is is a block that can show you. You can click on home and it automatically sends you back to the home. You have a front face, and there's your top face, your right side face, but it's kind of tilted down sideways. So there's ways to rotate or navigate around your views. And if you ever get lost, you can always click on the home to go back to your home view. All right, so that's the basics of how to create a basic Inventor part.